Hey there, and welcome to a special episode of the Life at a Glance podcast. I have been recording a few handful of special episodes all around this idea of turning what you know into a template. And I thought it would be a really cool idea to share with you. I'm going to call it a case study of a recent template that I launched about a month and a half ago. And so I always like it when I hear someone doing something, but I really like it when I hear the numbers to see what those results are. And so I'm going to share with you today how I documented a system. It took me about 48 hours, and I've sold to date, of this recording, in about a month and a half, I've sold 592 templates without a launch. And that's so important because right now, everything that I do inside of my business, I'm being so intentional. Like, I do not like big fancy launches. I did those for 17 years with my seasonal event. They are draining, they are exhausting. And when I look at folks and even coach folks who are running an online business, what I see is that exhaustion. And I see it from the standpoint of a lot of times they're launching something, maybe they haven't validated that thing initially, and we're going to talk about that too. And they get really excited, they pour their heart and soul, it is perfect. It is like a Martha Stewart perfect. They launch it to crickets, and then they become very upset all of the time, the work, the energy that went into it. Why is that not resulting in sales? And so I have a different take on it. And that's what we're going to talk about in how to turn what you know into a template. And I am going to show you kind of proof in the pudding of that I walk the walk, talk the talk, all of the things in today's case study. And so the question is, what if the thing that you do every single day could become a digital product that sells without a big fancy launch, funnel, or extra work? And that's exactly what happened a long time ago, about 6 years ago, when I launched a template that I used in a workshop that women went crazy over. It's $27, put $35 ad behind it. And that was like end of story. But what I wanted to do is to prove that the system works. So I've done it again, and I've actually got another one in the hopper that I'm getting ready to release. The thing that I love about these, that it's like the initial one is never about a big fancy sales page or email sequence, just a smart little system that solved a problem. And that's the game. That's the fun. And in the Plan With Me Live that I did today with Carrie, the interesting thing was, and we were taking feedback from those people who were in the chat. It's about solving the very first problem. We talk about all of that stuff that should be part of a back end offer. Back end meaning maybe a membership or a higher tier coaching program or a higher tier program or a higher tier membership, however, consulting, however you want to do it. We just need to solve something really, really quick for our customer. Otherwise, their face is sliding off when you're sitting there trying to explain it. And so I took a cue from my own playbook, and I do a weekly, some would call it onboarding session. I call it an implementation session with my template. I want people to understand how to use the template, a little bit of information about the software that I use, and I give them an assignment. Part of the homeschooling soccer mom in me. I do that with all of my workshops. I literally give an assignment because I like to spell it out. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. It's an implementation plan. And it almost calls you to go and implement the thing that you just sat there and listened to, right? And so I do these on a weekly basis. And there were questions that kept coming up. And one of the questions that came up is, how do you manage social media? I would get that both inside of the Zoom room for the live sessions that we do on Tuesday. And we would also get on the ads. I would get comments asking about social media, and I would also get them DMs, and I would also get emails. And so I was like, all right, everybody uses social media. Everybody has to manage social media. We have a pretty simple system. Let me do some research. And the reason I did research is because I have a paid account. And whenever you are selling a template, my recommendation is that you use that template that someone purchases from you on the software's free plan. And so I had to do a little bit of digging when it came to, we'll just call it a power up, which gave the list like some capabilities, right? Because I was using a paid version and now I had to find a free version that would work. And we found it and it has been amazing. And so what it is we call it Simple Social. It is a Trello template. So I built this out in Trello and it is 365 days of your social media post. And the way that it works is that a list is a month and each card represents a day of the month. And we have a power up in there that literally helps you to know where and what stage the post is at. So you could use this as a solopreneur and you could use this with a team. It would work amazingly with a team because it leverages time. And what I mean by that, instead of going back and forth and taking time to message and for them to stop and message you back and to have conversations about it, you literally at a glance can see exactly where where we are with our social media for the month, right? There is also, I have a system that we implement that shows you the most engaged post, because just like with any of my templates, like the Business Command Center, Simple Social becomes more valuable to you over time as you are posting on social media. And you are looking at the analytics to see which post had more engagement. Like, don't reinvent the wheel, right? And then I offer a couple of different bonuses, but that was it. And so the hardest part of that is like, what is the background going to look like? I know you're laughing at me, but I like to have a look and a feel. I like you to feel pretty. And I got a lot of guys use my templates too. I like you to feel good when you are using my template. And so it literally all in 48 hours. And that's not working on it constantly. It's not like two 24-hour blocks. I was doing a little bit and then I would work on another project. And so I documented it. We put it into the dashboard, the software that we use to deliver all of the templates that we sell. And we've come up with a pretty simple system. It's a 3-step system to deliver that. And there were just a couple of other things that we needed to do. I did not create a big fancy sales page. In fact, there is proven copy now that I use for our order bumps and things. I've used that copy now for a really long time. And it's like one of those things, like when it works, it works. Like, don't reinvent the wheel. And so I just plugged it right into the funnel. Like the funnel was already going. And I pulled a product out and I put this template in. And, what's interesting about that is that it's a boring system. And when I talk about boring systems, it's the sexiest thing inside of your business to have a boring system. It's very simple to use. It does its job. It is easy for your team, or it's easy for you. And you go and you implement it and it saves you time. Like anything that can save you time, that's the job of a template. And it's really that first problem that you solve that makes you a winner. It elevates you into the expert status. Again, I was having Plan With Me Live with Carrie. She's a photographer, been thinking about launching a digital product, and we just like intersected at the right time. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to have you on. She has so many things in place, but here is where she was kind of spinning. She's doing a lot of research, right? So I want to launch a low ticket. So now let me research, let me purchase some programs, let me purchase some templates, let me look at Facebook ads. All of that stuff is honestly advanced. Like we want to hit the ground running. And that's really in the Plan With Me Live, what she discovered. Like she started talking in expert speak and I'm like, that's amazing, but that's overwhelming me right now. The problem that I have is that right now I have Maggie's graduation pictures. I've got pictures for the insurance for the house. I've got random pictures on my phone and I have thousands of them. How do I start to organize those without feeling overwhelmed, because sometimes there's something that I want to show the contractor and I've taken a screenshot and I'm scrolling, and I'm scrolling, and I'm wasting his time. I'm feeling stressed out sitting there scrolling. So help me organize my photos. And when we've organized my photos, when I get that quick win, the quick win is the dopamine hit. It is the dopamine factor that when they implement your system to solve their friction point, you just made life easier. And when you make people feel good, they will remember you. At that point, you have a customer for life. Is one of the reasons why I do a live implementation. People can come, people cannot come. It's up to them. You register, even though maybe you can't come, you'll get the replay and you can watch. It's a limited time. So every single thing that I am doing, number one, thank you for purchasing the template. Number two, I want you to use the template, because you've got these people over here that have never even purchased the template that say it's a scam. They have never been in my world. They do not know how I onboard customer. They do not know my customer support and systems, but they are now an authority on how I work. It's extremely interesting. And then on the other side, it's like give somebody a megaphone, right? And then on the other side, people who implement will then turn around, come back onto the ad. I've used this for 3 years and counting. It's the best thing that I've ever purchased for my business. Those are the thoughts that I hang on to and that continue to encourage me. And I just have to stay consistent with my implementation of both ads, follow up in the threads and address any comments, and stay consistent with my live implementation. Because I don't want you just to buy stuff from me. I want you to buy it and I want you to use it. Because I know when you use it and when you customize it for your business, you are going to experience the time savings. Everything that I do is all about time savings. Why? Because I want you to enjoy your business. I want you to grow and scale based on your terms. But more importantly, I want you to shut that laptop and I want you to go out and do what you love. Whether that is sitting on the couch reading a book, maybe going to a coffee shop and reading a book. I don't read a lot of books. So the book is I don't know. Books are coming up for me right now. For me, it's shutting the laptop, doing stuff, being able to travel. It is all about doing punch needle. That is like a new thing for me. We are in the season of hiking. I love it when my husband's off work, or we go kayaking. I love it when my husband's off work. I have 6 kayaks that I bought for the family. It's called Hot Mama Kayaks. That is the name of my kayak stand, quote unquote, that I use. I want to love my business and not feel burnt out by it, because I've done that so many times. And I want to enjoy the benefits of my business on the other side when I close the laptop, right? So let's talk a little bit about kind of maybe some of those objections that are popping up for you. Well, you've done templates before, so it's super simple for you. If you are documenting a system that you use each and every day, and you are using a piece of software that you use each and every day, it's easy for you to. People are buying the solution, not the software. I'm not convincing someone to use Trello. In fact, they're very skeptical. They like the picture and they're like, oh, I like that. I want that. They want the solution. They're not like, I don't want Trello. If Trello has come up, it's interesting. I say, well, that's great. I understand that maybe Trello didn't work for you before, but the way that I explain Trello and the way that I use Trello, it's very different from the, and depends on how you say it, Kanban system. Why don't you try it out? That's what my people tell me. And so I'm using customer feedback. I'm not trying to sell them. If they don't want it, they don't want it. They don't need it. They can figure out how to do those things on their own within the software system. You're never, ever going to make people happy. Everybody happy is what I should say. And so people will buy it and they're like, well, can I use it in ClickUp? Yes, you can. Can I use this in Asana? Yes, you can. Can I use this in Monday? Yes, you can. You can turn all of this, but that's not my job. My job is that I've provided you a solution, and it's a visual solution. It's your first step for most into using a project management tool. And I've made it so in Trello, you can download and implement into or upload into all of those project management tools, right? Takes a couple of steps, but you can do that. I went down the rabbit hole of trying to create one for Asana. I was thinking about creating one for ClickUp, but then I start to dilute, and it's like I'm trying to solve a problem. I'm not selling a piece of software. All right. And so 48 hours, not 4 weeks, is what it took me. Money, like I use the tools that I use every day. That's why I was able to implement so quickly. It wasn't something I had to learn. And then now I'm teaching somebody. So it's no new software and no new design. It literally was a system that we were using that I am selling now. And the resources, like I did not build from scratch at all. I built from experience. I documented what I was already doing, and I documented just a small first step. And so for me, it literally was, let me document it. I'm going to record video. And now, guys, I used to record videos and edit them. You can do what you want. I mean, there's so many editors, there's so many pieces of software out there. So I say you do you. For me, at this point in time, I am using Loom. I'm using Loom right now to record this podcast episode that will go on YouTube as well, my video. It's down and dirty, but it is a really simple system. I know people love to script. People love Opus One Clip. People love, there are so many different systems that are out there. You do you. The more friction that is put in front of you, the harder it is to get the template or the thing that you're launching, i.e., just putting it out into the world, out into the world. So let's remove all of those blocks. Because let's think about it, 592, and it's a $19 template. That's almost $12,000 in a month and a half. Could you use $12,000 in a month and a half? I know that my kids right now, like, not that they weren't expensive growing up, but oh my, when they leave the house or when they go to college. Goodness gracious. And I love all my kids. So use the tools that you have available to you that you're comfortable with using and get the thing out the door. Solve the one problem. The other template that I'm launching, so I've got the $27 Business Command Center, okay? And I have Simple Social, which is it organizes it does not post or schedule, okay? It organizes and it also helps you to analyze once you have the data from making the post at the end of the month, like what are your most engaged posts, and to mark those. And what's getting ready to launch is the Client Command Center, and that's going to be 47. Oh my. I thought the Business Command Center was my favorite. Then I loved Simple Social, but the Client Command Center is everything that I wish that I had 6 years ago when I sold my first online service, which was managing somebody's inbox. How did I come up with a Client Command Center? I know it's like Business Command Center. I should have called it Social Command Center, but we're just keeping it Simple Social. And Client Command Center. Everything that you need for your client is literally on one board. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. How did I know what to put on this board? Well, it's what I've used to manage clients. How did I know that my clients wanted this? During my Tuesday sessions, out of 4, 3 times a month, more than one person will ask, how do I manage my clients using Trello? And so now they use their clients, they manage their clients using Trello with a client command system. It has everything that you need all wrapped up on one template. There's only one workshop that is not on that template. And it is, I give you SOPs for offboarding, for onboarding. I share with you how to write SOPs for your fulfillment. I show you my Noteworthy system, my Signal system. I give you templates for how I work, which is a critical piece of just how you work with your customers. I added a bonus of a contact template. You need to collect so much information from your customer. I gave, in addition, like if you were using Slack, customers do not know how to use Slack. I had our team build me a Slack 101 document. Guess what? You get that template and you can customize it for yourself so that you can show your customer how to use Slack. Boom. I mean, it is the chef's kiss. I am so, so excited. I went ahead and I copied 10 clients and oh my gosh, I give you a practice. I give you a practice client so that you can go in, read more detail about each section. And yeah, I am in love with that. And so I am using my VSL framework to record the video. I've already listed all of the things that the template includes. I'm just waiting. I've got to record the video. So I haven't done that. And obviously I haven't sold it yet because I'm just now launching it. This one's going to be a little bit different. I think that I'm going to put this one in the community and let folks know, hey, if you've had a question, because here's the thing, I can quickly create this system on the fly inside of that on the Tuesday, Trello Tuesday, when you are just getting familiar with the business command center. I do that very quickly. And what ends up happening is that those folks that are asking the question, okay, I'm going to need to go back and watch the replay. And so I thought, you know what? It would just be so much easier if all they had to do was to customize some pieces that they would give. Oh, and I've also got emails too. Oh my gosh, these emails, to die for emails. All right. It's an essential collection of emails that you need in terms of working with your customer. All right. I completely forgot all about that. But wouldn't it be great if all you had to do was to customize and start working? Customize and start working in the template. Anything past one client, and even one client, if you don't have that onboarding checklist in place, I know because it took me all day to onboard my first client. And then I was worried. I wanted to look professional to my client, but then I was worried, what did I forget? What are they thinking that I forgot? All of that like fear of missing out. And we all want to look professional. And what if they ask us a question and we don't know? I was already in the red. I was getting paid $15 an hour, and it took me all day to onboard her. But what a great learning experience. And I know that's where so many start. So it doesn't matter. Are you working with one client? Are you working with 25 clients? This system can 100% work for you. It can work for you if you're a solopreneur, or it can work for you if you're inviting a team member on there and they're picking up where you left off in terms of your fulfillment process. It can work for you. So 3 templates, 3 different price points. One is the Business Command Center. One is Simple Social, which we just launched a month and a half ago, 592 sales of this recording, almost $12,000 in sales. And then the Client Command Center, which we are getting ready to launch here, like it's going to be launched by the end of the week. And so as you are watching this, like go to the community and see, because I'm going to just put the link in there to purchase if you want to purchase. And I'm trying to decide exactly how I want it to incorporate it into the funnel. But I like having 3 very different price points. I wouldn't initially start with a $47 template. I've sold $47, but I really like that sweet spot, the initial offer being $27. Getting a little bit off course here, but it's important. I think it's important that you see kind of behind the scenes. I've been doing this for 6 years. Document what you know. Turn what you know into a template. I don't care what software you use. Trello, Asana, ClickUp, Notion. There have been a lot of conversations around Notion and Notion templates. So I just really feel like there is a big opportunity right now for that. And I'd love to see you in the workshop. So if you're listening to the podcast, there is a link that you can register. If you were watching over on YouTube, it should be that first link. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I have your basic Zoom. I'm not doing the webinar Zoom. So we're going to be in a meeting together. I have a limit of 100 people. Now, it's not always that everybody shows up Typically, I have about 200 people that register, and I'm going to be honest, there's been anywhere between 80 to 100 people that have ever showed up to my workshops. This one seems to be going really well. All right. So if you want to attend and or get the replay, make sure that you register. Probably going to do it a couple of times this summer because I'm having so much fun. And when you're having fun, it's really not work, right? Turn what you know into a template. Thank you so much for tuning in to this special episode. And I hope that you will join me during my workshop, Turn What You Know into a Template. All right. Take care until we see each other again.